In this tutorial, I'm going to go over 3 sketches that are in a folder called GlitchArt. And these are basically like jQuery plugins in the sense of someone else wrote all the code, and basically you just need to know how to go in and edit it in a way that you can add your own image and have it glitch your image. And then I'll show you like some areas that you could go in, and you're welcome to try to tweak the numbers and see if you can get different effects. But it's pretty much just knowing where to add your image to be able to get the glitch effect. I'm going to start with the first one, the ASDF pixel sort. And starting up at the top, what you're going to see, I mean, they've left you some notes here that you can kind of look at. And what you're looking for is on line 19, where it says string image file name, and you want to put in the name of your file and the extension. Now, if you haven't watched the video on adding images, you should watch that, because images always need to be in a data folder. And you want to make sure that if my H, for example, is capitalized, so I have to make sure that's capitalized, and this is a PNG type. I want to make sure those things are exactly the same. So unlike with the images, we split these up. So just the file name, and then under file type, PNG. Then you're welcome to go into any of these numbers and tweak and see what you get for different kinds of results. But if you want to see first theirs, you just press play. It opens up. You can close it, and then you go up to Sketch, Show Sketch Folder, and here it is, and you can check it out. Now, every time you press play, you should get a different result, and each one of them gives you like more of a variance. So if you want to keep this one, you want to make sure that you rename it, because that's what the next one's going to be called. So, oops, I will rename, and I'll just call it 2. Okay, and then if I want to play it again, sorry, I already had it open. And see if I like the second version that I get. Or I could go in and I could try like tweaking some of these black values. Maybe I add some more, just it's really playing. There's an awful lot of processing in here, and I don't expect you to really go into anything other than where you see numbers, or you could go into tweak mode if you want and just futz around a little bit. Okay, so I actually don't really like what I did there. It went backwards. But anyway, just to show you, up in sketch folder, so now I have that other image. Now let's just go through the steps of, I'm going to undo the things I did, and I'm going to switch it up. I have a couple of other images in my data folder, one that was called city, and it is a JPEG. So I just need to make sure those images, that's exactly how I spelled it, and it is a JPEG, and it's in my data folder. And now that's the result for my city image. To find it, I go up to Sketch, Show Sketch Folder, and there it is. So if I wanted to do another version of city, I need to rename this one, or else it's going to name city 1 over it. I have another image in here, flower. So not every image works very well with this process. Let's look at this one. So just needed to change that. And it's not a very interesting result that it gives me, because that image is almost all completely white. Now maybe I could go in and I could tweak these numbers. I don't know what I would get if maybe I brought things in the opposite way or something. But in my experience, you want to have an image that has just like basically the whole thing is covered with image. Yeah, so it doesn't really get any better. Okay, so that's that one. Now let's look at the one that's called channel glitch. I like this one a lot. Same thing, I'm going here into line 17, just starting up from the top. All of this stuff we're just leaving, and what we're just looking for is image file name and file type. Same thing. So mine is hand with a capital H and a PNG. I press play, and it glitches the RGB channels. And every time I play this, it will give me a different result. And to see it, I go up to Sketch, Show Sketch Folder. But I want to make sure that I rename it or else it just names over it. So I would rename this one, and I could call this one 1. And now when I go back, play it again, and go up to Sketch, Show Sketch Folder, I now have the 2 different versions. And you can see, like, every time you open it up, it's going to give you like a different result. So let's just try this with the flower image. I also have that in my data folder already. So I'm going to just change that to JPG. And that's kind of a cool result, but let's see, maybe next time. I'm just going to keep pressing it until I like it. Yeah, I want to be able to see them a little bit more separated out. Yeah, that's kind of cool. So every time it's overriding, so if I like it, I would have to go up and save the name. Okay, so let's say I like that one. So I go to Sketch, Show Sketch Folder, and rename this one like 1. And just to show you, it was in my data folder. And now when I press play, same thing, I can just kind of keep going, and they're gonna override each other. All right, so let's say I like that one, go up to Sketch, Show Sketch Folder, and now I have the 2 different versions, okay? And then there's a city image in there as well if you want to just test it out on my city image. You're just going to go in and change flower to city. All right, and I think the last one left, let me just make sure, so we did, yeah, is the simple glitch. Same thing, we're just looking for, it says file name and file type, and you have to make sure your image is inside your data folder and just name it. We'll just put in whatever the name of your file is and its file type. Take a look at this one. This one is kind of more like TV glitch. Oh, sorry, I just lost it. And you can definitely, let's see, go in anywhere that you see like a number, you could go in and try to tweak it and see if you like the different kinds of results here, so maybe you don't want all the colors to be random. You can look through here, but mostly you're not going to really do a lot of changes other than the name. Let's try this one on flower, which is in my data folder. And there you go. It's kind of cool. So, it really depends on the image that you have. I think that this I kind of like better than my hand one, but yet this one didn't work well on that first glitch one. So the image has a lot to do with it. Really, the only thing you have to pay attention to is make sure your images are in your data folder. You can copy and paste them in there or go through processing, go up to Sketch, add file, browse for it, and it'll make a data folder for you and put the file in there. And that's really it. Okay, so if you want to use these for your final, I just ask that it's one part of many parts to your piece. So maybe you do multiples of these and then goes into Photoshop and then you do some other processing Sketch and bring that in or make a poster for, I don't know, an album or something. All right, let me know if you have questions.